my way to welcome back to another eye-opening episode of Kasii on the ACWS network. Before we lock into the histories and the hidden stories of the Northwest, I'd like to urge everybody that's watching this video to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a fire emoji in the comments. Let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear more from us. Otherwise, let's jump into it. Dango. Today we travel deep into the heart of the Northwest province, a region that is often overshadowed in the mainstream narrative, yet one that is teeming with layered histories, cultural gold, and stories of human endurance. From the legacies of colonial displacement to the cultural icons who defied the odds, this episode is about reclaiming the stories of the margins and bringing them into the center. We begin our journey in Klerksdorp, a town whose serene appearance today belies a dark chapter in the South African history. During the Second Anglo-Boer War between 1899 and 1902, the British forces, under their scorched earth policy, established two separate concentration camps in this town, one for the white Afrikaners in Ellerton and a lesser-known one for the black Africans in Nesserhof. Now, these camps weren't just holding areas, they were also part of a strategic effort to dismantle resistance. The black camp in particular has received little attention in the history books, yet black South Africans were interned, starved, and they were stripped of their land rights. Now, this paved the way for future systems of dispossession under apartheid. And we have to understand that this was also crucial because it reveals how racialized control of land and land dispossession were already in motion way before 1948. From Klerksdorp, we move to Makweteng, better known as Potchefstroom these days, where the African concentration camp evolved into a township. Now, this space was not just residential, it was also political, spiritual, and very cultural. It was very pivotal in shaping a post-war identity that was rooted in survival. Makweteng would undergo many name changes, which was influenced by the apartheid spatial planning, first changing the name to Ikageng, which reflected the forced removals and the rebranding efforts. Despite systematic attempts to fragment these communities, the residents decided to remain tied together and knit together, and they held on tight to their cultural memory, and they continued to create a submersive continuity between their past, their present, and their future. Next, we arrive in Boitekong Rustenburg, a settlement that was born in the shadows of eviction, economic exclusion, and a failing post-apartheid housing pipeline. Formed in the 1990s largely by displaced farm workers, Boitekong now reflects the struggle of a new poverty line, inequality, and intergroup tensions. The 1996 conflict between the Sotho and the Xhosa groups wasn't one that was just ethnic. It was also very symptomatic of deep socio-economic stress. Unemployment, poor sanitation, and overcrowded housing created a pressure cooker of an environment. The loss of 36 lives serves as a stark reminder that without economic justice, social cohesion will always be fragile. Now, Northwest has also gifted South Africa with pioneers across politics, music, and the sports. Let's honor some of these icons. Moses Kotane was born in Dappelstad, and he was not just a political figure. He was also a symbol of ideological clarity. He fought for workers' rights, and he also fought for the cause of racial unity. His tenure as the SACP Secretary General saw him both influence the ANC and the global communist movement. Onkgopotse Abraham Tiro was a black consciousness movement leader. He lit fire in the minds of students. His expulsion speech at the University of Telflop in 1972 critiqued Bantu education so sharply that it became a rallying cry across all campuses. His assassination in exile in Botswana only amplified his legacy. Now, I'm one who is very regal to this story because it's one that's reiterated in the circles of Yazapo every year on June 16. Onkgopotse Tiro was killed with a bomb parcel that left nothing but the pieces of his flesh attached to the small hut that he was hiding in Botswana. Aluta Contentu and RIP to the real martyrs. Oskido is known as one of the founding fathers of Kwaito. He is known to have given township youth a musical language of identity, resistance, and joy. Katlego and Philemon Masinga did not just score goals, they have inspired township kids to dream of stadiums. Masinga's goal against Congo in 1997 qualified Bafana Bafana for their first World Cup. And who can forget that Katlego screamer against Kasii against Spain in the 2009 Confederations Cup. Desmond Tutu from Klerksdorp embodied the conscience of a nation. His theology of reconciliation helped birth South Africa's TRC, although it left many stones unturned. He helped blend Ubuntu with a philosophy of moral leadership. RIP to Tata as well. Boiti Tulo represents a new wave of fierce and female entrepreneurship as well as artistry. She has went out and carved a lane in a male-dominated industry for herself while staying rooted in a Potchefstroom pride. Maklera Dope Boy storing taps into the pulse of the Kasii youth. His bars reflect a hyper-local identity with a national reach, putting Matlosana on the hip-hop map. Now for years, Platinum Stars has also brought top-tier football to Rustenburg. Beyond trophies, the club has become a pipeline for young talent, hosting development programs that mirrored what academies in Europe offered. Their 2006 Knockout Cup victory signaled that township-rooted teams could still compete against urban giants. Their disappearance from the league, however, is symbolic of the broader issues: financial instability and mismanagement in local football structures. Finally, we look at one of the most important discoveries in the world that happened right here in the Northwest: the Taung child. Unearthed in 1924 by quarry mine workers, this 2.8 million year old skull confirmed that humankind began indeed in Africa, and that challenged the Eurocentric theories that dominated science at the time. The Taung find was such a scientific and political moment in recentering Africa as the cradle of civilization and reshaping the global understanding of the human evolution. And all that happened right here in Northwest. From colonial stars to cultural brilliance, the Northwest is more than just a province. It's a living archive of resistance, renewal, and rhythm. The question now we must ask ourselves is, how do we honor these hidden stories in a way that will connect and revolutionize our youth? Let's keep these conversations going. Drop a comment with a story from your hood, your grandmother's tales, or a forgotten legend that might need the mic. Mikasi, Sukasi. It's my hood, it's your hood. It's all connected, and we are all connected. Until next time, stay rooted, stay curious, and stay revolutionary.